So Lynn, we've prepared this video so that the students can prepare for their online test.
Yep, it's an online revision. If you happen to miss the classes last week, or the tutorial for that matter, then this one's actually for you.
Great. So we have 3 topics. Number 1,
segmentation, targeting and positioning.
number 2,
We've got market research.
and number 3.
We've got consumer behavior and buyer behavior within B2B.
Fantastic. Okay, let's kick it off.
All right. So the first one that we're doing is segmentation, targeting and positioning. And the idea of segmentation is that we try and profile the market within a given market set so that we try and understand who the customer really is, what motivates them to buy. And once we understand how to segment them, then we're able to use that information later on. Let's look
So
at...
the targeting is just a bit of fine-tuning of the segmentation.
Yep.
You figure out which
what
part
to
of the segment,
offer,
what do we offer, and
Yeah.
can we reach them?
Yep, can we reach them? So generally speaking, when we try and do segmentation, there are 4 different ways of doing it: geographic, demographic, psychographic, and the one that's based on behavior. And the idea is that if we can profile them, if we can understand them, then we are able to design products for them, we're able to offer those products to them. It's called targeting. The actual process is called targeting, and there are 4 different ways of doing targeting. The first one, it's called the first one is our differentiated marketing, in which we try and offer one product to everyone.
So in this case, we offer Coca-Cola, just the normal Coca-Cola to everyone.
You can also talk about a bottle of mineral water, which could be bought by everyone else, and it could be a baby or an adult. Differentiated target marketing, we try and find every segment, and then we try and design a product for them, we try and offer that product to them.
So in case of Coca-Cola, we have Powerade, and we have caffeine, energy drinks.
Coca-Cola has close to 155 different brands and products around the world, and the idea is multi-product, multi-segmentation.
Yeah. So that's differentiated
That's
marketing.
differentiated marketing. The third one is concentrated marketing, in which we try and think about one particular segment that has a specialized need or want, and we try and offer that product to them. So the example that I can think of is gluten-free products in the supermarket.
Okay.
They're not meant for everyone, but they are meant for a specific type of customer.
And Coca-Cola, they could do a diabetic drink.
Yeah,
So people with diabetes.
Yeah.
Okay, what is customized?
To me, Subway comes to mind.
Subway.
Every,
I can see, yeah.
every customer has a choice in what product gets served to them. Now, once we've figured out the targeting strategy, then we need to think about how do we put this product in the market and then capture attention, but at the same time, what do we say to them? What rationale can we give them?
So that's positioning. I always explain that you take a position in the consumer's mind compared to the competition.
And
So
then they're able to choose.
This is unique to us.
Yeah, they're able to choose you versus the competition. 3 different ways of doing it. First one, the old argument, iPhone 1 versus iPhone 6. More features, more benefits, faster machine. That's the whole idea. Number 2.
So it's all about function.
It's all about functionality. Yeah.
Okay.
Number 2 is symbolism, in which iPhone is about iPhone, not just a phone. It's about branding, it's about trust and reliability, and the loyalty that people have towards brands.
And also, for instance, Louis Vuitton bags.
Yeah.
So
it's a status symbol,
Yeah,
appealing to your ego's status as well. And the last one is I can either ask you to buy an ice cream, or I can give it to you to taste it, and then let you decide whether you like it or not. And that's experiential marketing. So it could either appeal to tactile senses or to cognitive sensory positions.
So I'm looking at Rainbow's End over there. That's experiential positioning. Come and experience the rainbow.
Get the adrenaline rush, and out you go when you finish.
That's all pretty simple, isn't it? This whole marketing thing. Okay, then marketing, information, and research.
To be a good marketing person, we need to understand what we're doing, and for that purpose, we need to be able to research the market, and that's pretty much what market research process looks like.
So if you research it, you know what your customers' wants and needs are, and then you can deliver.
Yeah, absolutely. If you're launching a product, and we typically call it as pre-launch market research, we try and understand what's happening in the market, and then we ask the customers of their usage habits and everything else around it, and we learn from them. We take that information, we process that information, and if this is the process that we normally follow. So you start with a research problem or a research question, you design and you plan your research before you start doing it. Once you've planned everything, we'll talk about the methods later. Once you've planned everything, then you collect the data, you analyze the data, and then you report your findings to your client.
Okay, so I want to launch pizza ice cream into the market, but I'm not sure whether everybody's going to like pizza ice cream. I've got my problem, I go through the process, and then
and
the
you get
research,
the answer.
don't do it.
Yeah.
It tastes awful, we don't want it.
You
Okay.
never know.
How do we find out? 7 steps. Can you take us through?
Stages? Yeah, there's 7 different stages, and we start with, once we've got the problem on hand, then we start to think, you know, if we need data, what type of data do we need? Obviously, there are 2 different types of data that we get into. Secondary data, sometimes we can find all the answers that we're looking for outside. It's called secondary data, collected by somebody else, does not belong to you, you don't own it at any stage.
Sometimes you buy it, probably.
Sometimes you buy it from syndicated data services such as AC Nielsen, and sometimes you actually have to do it. You actually have to go out and collect the information.
I go out and get it. That's primary.
Absolutely. That's primary. You
The
own
first
it,
time you collect primary, the first time you collect their data.
yeah, it becomes your data, you don't share it,
No.
and it is your data.
Okay.
Now, if I take you back to step number 3, choosing the methodology to collect the data, there are quite a few options available. We've got focus group interviews, we've got one-on-one interviews, and in-depth analysis could be done. We can call people on the telephone, we can approach them in the mall. We can also do surveys with them, and this happens to be, the online method happens to be quite popular now.
Facebook, I
Yeah.
can do the survey, win
Yeah.
something,
Absolutely.
and I'll give you my opinion, and I get rewarded.
Yeah, get people involved and get people to give you insights into their thinking. Now, that's pretty much what the research process looks like, but we're not just done yet. The last thing that we need to worry about is these 2 guys, validity and reliability.
Ooh, that's always a bit hard, isn't it? So representativeness, I can understand. It has to represent. I want to launch pizza ice cream, so I talk
And you
to
talk
young
to as many
people,
people as possible
families,
across the country.
that's representative. But then the data that I collect needs to be valid.
Yeah, the idea of validity is it really measuring what you're supposed to be measuring? Sometimes you get a simple question and people are able to answer that question. If you have a confusing question or a double barrel question, which people do put in their surveys, then people get confused and they answer it based on estimation rather than the real answer, and that's where the validity error starts.
If I would start talking about strawberries in my ice cream or on the pizza, then people may start to think I'm talking about strawberry ice cream and I'm not measuring pizza anymore.
Yeah.
I'm measuring the wrong thing.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
that's validity.
Yeah.
What's reliability?
The reliability comes in from, you get these surveys and you start entering these surveys into the system, and somewhere down the track you start to think, you know, I'm entering all this data in, how can I expedite this process? And you start to do it quickly, and soon enough you start entering the wrong numbers in the wrong places, and leads to a whole lot of corruption and
No
data.
longer reliable.
Yeah,
You get the
absolutely.
wrong results. If you
Yeah.
have the wrong results, people say, yes, I love pizza ice cream. No,
Yeah.
they don't.
Yeah.
You're not going to sell anything.
Not the information
Okay.
that you wanted.
Okay.
Okay.
And then we need to write a report,
Yep. And the report
and the report is done.
comes out looking really nice, but it doesn't really help you. All right. The next learning outcome, obviously, is consumer behavior
Buyer behavior.
and buyer behavior.
So consumers and business to business. So
Yeah.
if I'm a business, can I be a consumer? I
No,
can't, can
no,
I?
you have to be. There are 2 different ways of looking at it. Business to consumer is one type of marketing. Business to business is another type of marketing. Business to consumer, it's a consumer. You actually buy it, you consume it, you finish it.
And it's for your personal
Absolutely.
consumption. It's
And
free.
for customer, you buy it and you pass it on and make some money out of it.
So that's a
obviously-
so if I'm business to business, I can be a customer, but I can never be a
You can
consumer.
never be a consumer.
Okay, cool.
The idea is to understand what drives people to buy and choose products and services. Obviously, then the question is there a process that people go through? And there seems to be a process that people normally go through. You go at the mall and you're hungry and you're looking for food.
Oh, you have a need.
Ah.
You're a hungry man. I know this.
What I want KFC, then it becomes a want.
And then you do the information search.
Yeah.
Ooh, I look around.
Yeah, and choose one that you think is going to satisfy
Subway.
your hunger.
Subway.
You evaluate the alternatives, you come up with a few options, you end up making a decision, you actually buy that product, and once you start consuming it, you start to evaluate whether you're happy with it or
I'm
not.
going back there next time. This was
Yeah.
really good,
Yeah.
but no.
The satisfaction
Never
index,
again.
whether you're completely satisfied or dissatisfied, normally comes in out of
And
this.
sometimes I even want to hand it back and get my money back.
Yep.
All part of post-purchase behavior.
Yep.
Yep.
And it doesn't happen in isolation. There are 3 different factors that have an impact on the actual decisions that you make. Social influences, so culture, subculture, social class, group norms, all of that comes into our buyer behavior, has an influence on how we buy and what we pick between
Okay.
products.
So the difference between culture and subculture, you're obviously Indian. Do you
Yeah.
eat a lot of Indian?
Yeah, we do.
You
Yeah.
I eat much less Indian. Subculture, I'm a bit of a gym buddy.
Yeah.
I buy sports drinks,
Yeah.
that kind of thing.
Yeah.
I buy clothing.
And I buy Coca-Cola. 'cause it
And you
tastes
buy
nice.
Coca-Cola. And I wouldn't touch it.
And Vinegar chocolate milk.
I would touch that.
Yeah, internal influences. Sometimes perceptions and motivations have a role to play in your buying behavior. Attitudes and personality. Age, what age you are, depends on what sort of consumption habits you've got, and the lifestyle orientation.
Yep.
You can walk into a supermarket and buy yourself a 4% milk, a full cream milk, or if you think that sort of milk is not really good for you, you need to have an organic product, then there's an organic milk available for you. So it's a lifestyle choice in the end, and obviously physical surroundings.
In winter, I'm cold, I'm going to buy woolen things
Yep.
that look good.
Social influences.
And if the shop looks really nice and it's displayed nicely on a mannequin, I'm going to do some impulse buying. 'cause
Yeah,
I want
that's
to look nice.
that's typically window shopping that happens, and that's that one.
And it all takes time.
Yeah,
Okay, so that's the decision process, and then you.
So that's your decision process, and these three have an influence on what you buy and how you buy it,
Hmm.
and how you choose in the end. Now, obviously, we need to talk about the other type of marketing, business-to-business marketing. One business buying products and services and on selling it to another business, and in the process making some money out of it.
You
And
want to make a profit.
you may want to make a profit. It's slightly different compared to B2C. Some of the differences being that the reciprocity in the relationship.
If you're Fonterra, you buy a lot of bottles
Yeah.
and packs
Yeah.
for your milk.
And
it's
you
not
are
for
a
personal
customer.
consumption.
Yeah,
Okay, that's
absolutely.
yeah.
And there are a few customers on board, and they're geographically concentrated. So
And then there's a difficult geographic
Yeah.
concentrate. So Fonterra all in the Waikato.
yeah, yeah,
And Taranaki.
yeah.
But then there's a difficult concept, reciprocity.
Yeah.
What's that?
It's a reciprocal relationship that exists between two different companies. So if you're a banking person and you are an insurance person, when we look after each other in a commercial sense, but at the same time,
I do my banking with you.
yeah, and I do my insurance products with you.
Ah.
Okay.
So it's a
reciprocal
reciprocal, we give
relationship.
and take.
Yeah.
Each.
Yeah.
Yeah. Reciprocal. Okay. All right. There's a way, there's more. There's no way, there's more.
Yeah.
We've done it.
All right.
So this
Okay.
is the information you need for your online test. If you haven't understood some of what we said, read the book, look at your slideshows.
Look at the slides. The slides are quite comprehensively written.
Yeah.
Have a look at them.
And if you want to know what reciprocity is, Google it.
Yeah. Should be
There's
fine.
always more to find out. So good luck with your test, and we'll see you in class next week.
Okay.
Hey, that was really fast. That was 6 minutes.
Oh no 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 no.